Sustainable and circular materials are the foundation of the next industrial era. They determine how we build, manufacture, and transition to a low-carbon economy. Yet, do you know that only 5% of human discoveries ever reach the market? The other 95% are still stuck in labs. Imagine spending 10 years building an advanced material that could change the world. You have a prototype, data, publications, but when you are ready to commercialize, the system says if you want to continue, just become a founder. Then a scientist has to raise capital, build a team, find factories, and sell to customers. But what they were trained to do is science, not business. Traditional grants also try to solve this problem, but they're too slow and limited. When funding ends, the projects stop. Even the newer models like DAOs decentralize the risk, but they can't scale up. Well, investors see the graveyard. Once research fails, their money goes to zero, and no one wants to lend money without a guarantees. So every year, billions of dollars in research and countless hours of human talent disappear in this gap. The real cost isn't just financial. It is a progress that we never get to see, and that cost is massive. That is why we built MatDAO. We are the infrastructures for sustainable materials, researchers, investors, and factories to de-risk and accelerate the green commercialization. We convert the climate and circular intelligent properties into the liquid asset, where valuation increases at every milestone. To eliminate the scale-up risk, we integrate the OEM capacity into the funding cycle for sustainable manufacturing. This provides investors with de-risked green portfolios and gives factory a direct pipeline of validated circular innovation. When we turn green IP into the productive asset, we distribute the commercialized revenue back to all stakeholders through our core technologies.
Now, onto key technology, smart contracts. We use these due to their autonomous and secure nature, along with transparency, where funds will automatically be dispensed once conditions are met, such as when a researcher reaches a milestone or when an investor deposits a certain amount of funds. Next, zero-knowledge technology. Not everything can be revealed on the blockchain. Therefore, we use ZK in order to prove that this information actually exists, such as passwords or confidential information, without actually revealing it to the public. With both of these combined, this enables us to have high-speed, scalable transactions without compromising for security or speed in the long term. Currently, we use Polygon Egg Layer due to its scalability and low cost, and also ZK integration. It also uses proof of stake, which is the greenest consensus mechanism, compared to proof of work, which requires mining, cutting over 99% in energy consumption. We use Molecule's IP-NFT standard in order to turn IPs into liquid assets that can be traded on the blockchain as fractional ownership assets. We also use milestone-based funding in order to ensure real output and minimum wastage of funds.
Now, how do we make money? We monetize through commercialization, structuring fees, IP value participation, and transaction fees across funding and manufacturing education. As more sustainable IP flows through the systems, revenue becomes increasingly asset and infrastructure driven.
Currently, we have 8 partners in total from different industries, researchers, investors, and company factories. We spent hundreds of hours on the ground aligning MatDAO with actual researchers and VCs. And we are currently a trusted part of the conversation, bridging the gap between deep tech and global capital. Onto our use case. Currently, there is a project in Nonghan aiming to reduce the amount of water hyacinth, but this project currently lacks funding and awareness. Now, currently, Assistant Professor Dr. Nampon is working on this project, and he proposes that we can turn this water hyacinth into biochar, but he has no funding, and he doesn't know how to contact factories. Therefore, MatDAO can help fill this gap by connecting him to investors and the industry. Currently, we have signed an MOU with Assistant Professor Dr. Nampon in order to integrate our system into his project and ensuring long-term ecosystem development. Currently, we support SDG 912 in order to ensure the creation of new jobs and a pathway from the lab to industry, and also responsible consumption, such as in the case of Ajanapon, where 3,000 tons of water hyacinth can trap 900 tons of CO2 equivalent as biochar and potentially replace 20 to 40% of virgin materials with greener alternatives. Therefore, we aren't just a blockchain platform anymore. We are turning circular deep tech into a global asset class. Let's make our science great again. Thank you.